Hey, good afternoon, my friendly stampers. This is Robin with Stamp with Dr. Robin. I'm an independently run Stampin' Up demonstrator in today, sunny San Diego. I think we may have passed over our weeks and weeks and weeks of May gray and June gloom, and here we are. It's actually a little sunny today, and I'm gonna have my sister's in town, and she's gonna come swimming with us this afternoon. I haven't been in my pool yet. Hey Roz, good to see you. So today we are going to do a new fun fold that I just learned from Rhonda Wade. She's a wonderful demonstrator. If you haven't watched her before, she's very creative, and she actually said she learned this from somebody in her group who gave her a card with this new fun fold. So, hey Doris, glad you could come watch. So what's new at Stampin' Up is everybody knows, hopefully we got all our wonderful new catalog stuff. One of the reasons I'm using this Irresistible Blooms set today is because I think people are having trouble with understanding the whole online exclusive thing. So we're going to talk about that a little bit too. Just checking to make sure that I am on live. Yes, good. Anyway, so that's going on. We've got our sign-up bonus, which you get a lot more free product, $30 more than usual. So instead of $99 in free shipping for $125 worth of product, you get $155 worth of product. Any product. New, old, even the new online exclusives that only demos can get through this month. But don't worry, you guys can get them. I believe it's July 6th. Anyway, I'm not using any of that yet. So, but like I said, we're using a different online exclusive so that you guys can understand what those are. And then we've got some even more exciting news that Stampin' Up just posted, like, I don't know, 10 minutes before I came online. We got an email about there is going to be a free shipping day this Wednesday, only this Wednesday, only that day. So that's very, very exciting. So anyway, I am going to turn you down now. I'm hoping some more people will come join us too. So like I said, we're using this Irresistible Blooms. Whoops, let's get you a little better situated. Is that working out well? For this class, and it is a bundle. And here, once again, this was the first time we saw when this came out that we have our bundles now with both the same name for the stamp set and the die set. Two things that are really cool are things that don't even cut out anything here, and that I actually am not using today, but these two things I'm going to be using next time because they make some really cool stuff. Maybe next time. As always, there's a really cool little extra thing on the stamps, which is these really cool little dots. And one of the other things that's really cool about this set is the paper. You know, I'm a sucker for some pretty paper. And not only is this paper, see, it kind of is like those lines of dots. That's what that one cuts out. Not only is it pretty paper, but these dies will cut out some of the flowers. So there's a few pages like this with these individual flowers, and the dies will cut them out. There's also one with leaves, and the dies will cut out the leaves. And so that's just a pretty one. Just some really, really pretty. We've got our pretty peacock back again. Another one. This one actually I cut out today. I do want to show you something that's really quite fun. Actually, you know what? I'll show you later about this. I will show you later when we get to it in the card. And then the backs of these, so these are all just pretty floral things in very soft colors. And then the backs are kind of more you know, more solid-y kind of things that you can use as background paper for anything. But just such pretty colors. We've got our soft seafoam, our peacock. This is flirty flamingo, and that's daffodil delight. And those are pretty much the main colors here today. Whoops. All right. I'll move that out of the way. So that's what we're going to be working with today. So let me just move that out of the way a little bit. I got too much stuff here. This is the card we're going to make today. And when you first look at this card, it looks like a normal card. But here's the cool thing, is it has this little pop-up mechanism when you open it. So normal card, pop yourself up. So that's what we're going to make today. And let's get going. All right, so we're going to take a normal piece of flirty flamingo, our half a cardstock. So it's 11 by 4 1/4, so I cut it the long way this time, and I scored it at 5 1/2. And so first thing we're going to do is just fold it in half. I'll make this side up. And then we are going to put on a piece of beautiful paper, and this piece is 4 by 5 1/4. And I know you don't see me use this very often, but I am going to use my Stampin' Seal Plus, and I'll show you why in a minute. But I actually like it and find it easier to use than the regular Stampin' Seal, and it holds pretty well. Not as good as, say, your tear and tape, but pretty well. You want to put just one little one in the center then, and you'll see why in a minute. Now, this paper is so beautiful. You could just do this, put your sentiment on, maybe make a bow, maybe make some pretty sparkles, call it a day. That's what's so great about Stampin' Up stuff. But instead, what we're going to do is we are actually going to cut this out, this center part right here. And this is our Stylish Shapes dies. We're also going to use this big one down here. You guys, I keep telling you, if you get one thing in the catalog, it should be this. This is, you know, that's in our main catalog. I know it's been around for a year, but I know a lot of people don't have it. All right, so this is just our regular sandwich here. And you want to kind of put this towards the top, not all the way. And again, like I said, I'm using the largest Stylish shape here. I'm shaking my whole table, so I think I'll go back this way just so I don't get a line on that. I didn't want to push it all the way through because I didn't want to get a line on that cardstock there as it went through. Okay, so now I've punched out that, whoa, where'd it go? Whoops, left it on the stand. That whole thing is out. And the reason you only want, this kind of breaks that seal around here, that you only wanted that little bit of glue there is so that you can take this off. And this basically we are not using on our card, but you could use it on your envelope, or I'm going to actually, I think, use it on my on another card, and I will show you what I mean by that, because we can make another card with that. So we're just going to put that over to the side and put all of this actually over to the side, because we're going to make that little inside mechanism right now. So what we're going to do, my scoring blade keeps popping out, and now I don't even see, oh, there it is. was going to say, this is going to be tough to do without a scoring blade. All right, so this is a piece of our white paper, and it is 4 by 9 1/4. I'll say that again in case anybody's writing it down. 4 by 9 1/4. And I hope you guys all know that you can find all this when I'm done. I go and I write my blog post at stampwithdrrobin.blogspot.com, and you can find it all there. Okay, I'm gonna try this because I know this is easier for you guys to be able to see. All right, so this gets scored, but it's upside down for me, at 2, at 4, and at 6. 2, 4, 6. And that's just on our white page. All right. And then you're going to fold it. It's actually going to fold like a table. Okay? Can you see that? It's like a table. And on this little part of our table, we're going to take some of that coordinating cardstock, and that is 3 3/4 by 1 3/4. So just 1/4 of an inch shorter than that little piece. So 3 3/4 by 1 1/4. And then we are going to put it inside. And we are going to put it like that. You see that? Don't worry about this, you're not going to see it, okay? So first thing we're going to do, why did I put that on? Okay, so we got our table. This side of our table. We are going to put on here. Okay. And actually, oops, we don't want any of that up here. So just put it on those 3 sides. Don't put any in the middle like I did, and hopefully that'll dry quickly and we can, this is really gooey today. I'm going to turn it over in hopes that this side is a little better. Everything's getting stuck here. Okay, and now we're going to stick this part down. Again, with your little margins like that, and then it should fold down flat like that. Right? Yay, and it does. Okay, except it's a little crooked in here. So let's try to uncrooked it. It is the the good and the bad about using the multi-purpose glue is having it move when you don't want it to move. Okay, there we go. So now I'm just going to use my bone folder a little and try to get it all even in there. Okay. So we got our little mechanism going. And now I'm going to take, oops, you know what where'd it go? Did it stick when I turn this over? I still need that little flirty flamingo circle that is now hiding. Come on, circle, where'd you go? Well, that's no fair, because I can't finish without that. Anybody see it fly off somewhere? Or be under something? Okay, so remember when we cut this out, there was a circle under here. I do not see it, but I do have the powers to make some more, cut another one. So we're going to pretend that that didn't happen, that I did not lose my flirty flamingo circle. This is what happens when you have live Facebooks. Stuff can happen. So we will just cut another one and pretend it's that one that I'm sure as soon as I'm done with this Facebook Live will decide to show up. Oh, look, I found it. Ha ha ha. All right, so now, I didn't find it. That's the one I just cut. I'm actually going to try to get that glue that I got on here off because we do not want it stuck on here. You know how our glue is when it dries? It is still kind of sticky. So I really don't want it to be stuck to the top here. So this little glue eraser thing, it works really, really well. And we used to sell it. This is a Stampin' Up product. We don't now. So you will have to, if you don't already have one, this just save you throwing away something that you get glue on that you really didn't want it on. So now we're just going to glue it to the bottom half. You see that? Because then it'll pop up like that. So that is the other piece that we cut out here. That's the one we're not using. And we're just going to fit it back in there like that. And now we have our pop-up mechanism. Yay! So that worked. And now what we're going to do is get a piece of the white that's just the circle that's a little bit smaller. And remember I showed you those little dots? Well, we're going to get some flirty flamingo dots on here. If I can get it open, there we go. And I just wanted this as kind of a little background, but I am going to stamp them off. This is a pretty, otherwise bright color. And I just wanted some little background dots, but nothing bright. Okay, and then remember I showed you the paper and I said you can cut out the leaves from this paper, and there's pages where you can cut out the flowers on this paper, and that's what I've done, is I've cut out a whole bunch of them. In fact, I had a page that I cut out all the flowers. And the thing I wanted to show you is even these little flowers, this was a flower that was along an edge, cut those out too. And you can cut them, hand cut them, or I used the dies. The dies will cut them out. And then you can even use them like this. This is how I used them. Just going to cut a little off of here so it doesn't look like a point. Because it might be sticking out a little bit here. See that? That looks like there's another flower under there, right? There is not. Okay, so I'm going to stick these two together. And I found it easiest, this has to flow pretty well when you open and close it. So I found it easiest to do this. In fact, I'm going to totally just stick this down because we don't want anything sticking over the edges so much that you can't open it. So you can't have anything go past that little cut edge when you're doing this. So let's get some dimensionals on here. I also found it easier to do what I just did, stick these on, you know, stick these together first and then get the dimensionals. Okay, so we got that in place. Again, see how I'm not going to go past that. I'm not actually going to stick them down yet because I have some leaves that I cut out also. So you saw the page where I got them from. So I wanted to stick the leaves in first. Maybe I'll stick these going down a little bit. That looks good. Again, making sure they don't go past that line because you don't want to inhibit the movement. And I just really need to stick down part of it. I don't need the whole thing stuck down, right? I like that little bit of movement there. And now we'll stick our flowers down. There we go. And then you'll notice it still moves, right? All right, and then we got all these extra flowers to use on another project. And then we are just going to get a little black. Remember, this is the stylish shape one that I showed you, and I said, yeah, we're going to use that again too. And we're going to stamp the stamp that says, "Hooray, it's your day." Love that stamp because you can use it for so many different things, right? So you know when you're going to emboss. I love embossing the white on the black. So we use our embossing buddy, then our Versamark. I don't know why I'm not. Are you guys making comments? Because I'm not getting able to see them today. I don't know what that's about, but if you have any questions, I'll try to go back. I will go back. Not try. I will go back and answer them later, but hopefully you guys are just watching and having fun. And then we take our white embossing powder and I just dump it. I have mine dumped in a little Dollar Tree plastic thing because I just find it easier to use when I have a big vat of it like this. And then I have my trusty heat tool. Now this is, I'm gonna just warm it up over here. This is a really small piece and I don't want to burn myself, so I've got just some tweezers. I'm going to hold it. And a lot of times it's helpful if you start by heating it underneath, because what that does is it helps it not get a little warped. Don't heat it too much because you actually can burn this a little bit. I'm gonna let it dry a little bit. And in fact, I'm gonna make another one because I want to show you what to do with that extra little piece that we took out. And it's gonna be "Hooray, it's your day" again. I thought it was so cool how this just fits so well into that stylish shape. this one has some extra stuff sticking, so I just have an extra one of these water painter things. And I just use that to kind of clean it up a little bit. I know some people like that extra stuff around, but I don't. I don't want extra snow, as I call it, on my card. And then I'll, like I said, I'll show you what I did with this. I love the magic that is embossing. It just is so magical. I love teaching it to people because I love it when they see it for the first time. It's always like, oh my gosh, how did you do that? Why is it doing that? I can't really answer the why, but it is pretty cool. Oh wait, I didn't even use this one. I decided I was just going to glue this one down. And of course, we got to make this also fit inside, and it does just barely. Ta-da! Okay, and now we've got some bling, because we have to have some bling, right? I don't know why this is doing what it's doing. Let's try this again. There we go. Now I can see some comments. Hi, Zena. Glad you could come. Hi, Margaret from North Carolina. Now I can see you guys. Oh, well, bye-bye, Roz. This is a fun fold. And these are our iridescent rhinestones. Now, I love me an iridescent rhinestone because no matter what, it looks gorgeous. It kind of reflects whatever you put it on. So today, it's looking kind of flirty flamingo-ish, right? Other times you do it and it's looking like whatever other color you want it to be on. I decided to use a bunch today. Isn't that beautiful? That is such a pretty card. And then you can write whatever you want. It can be hooray, it's your day, because I mean, we've all had a bunch of graduations lately. It can be hooray, it's your day because it's your birthday. Okay, and I just wanted to show you something to do with that extra circle. Remember this extra circle that we had when we cut this out, right? It's too pretty to throw away, right? So I just made kind of a real simple card. This is the other half, basically, of the piece of paper, the 11.5 by 4 1/4. And then I just took a 5 1/4 by 3 inch piece of that other DSP, just a pretty one in general, and I mounted it on some black cardstock that's 3 1/4 by 5 1/2. And then, oh yeah, that is falling now. That's probably not a good thing. And then I'm just going to glue that on here. I was going to put on dimensionals, but it seems kind of thin. I would have to kind of back it with something, I think, if I really wanted to do that. And then remember all of those other little ones that I cut off? Well, I can put one right here and use that. And if you've noticed, we didn't use a whole ton of those stamps at all. And then what I want to do is I took our little bow punch, this punch, and I cut out 3 of these little bows in soft sea foam. Not cut out, punched out. Kind of a twofer class today, huh? We got 2 beautiful cards using this set. We haven't even really hardly touched the stamp set. So where's the other one? And this is why I wanted that extra little hooray, it's your day, to put on here. So that's our 2-for-1, and let's, of course, it needs some bling, right? What doesn't need bling in my world? Come on. Let's see, we're gonna put one down there, one here. They're everywhere. Maybe one up here. So pretty. Let's bring back the other one. It's always fun to make kind of a secondary card, right? That turns out just as beautiful as this one. Of course, it doesn't have the fancy fold. Maybe we should finish it off. No, wait, later. I've got to still on this one put a paper in there. But what do you guys think? Yay. Hi, Carol. Hi, Margaret. Which one do you like better if you were receiving one in the mail? This one with your secret little hidden pop-up, or this one that's just pretty? Do we have a preference? And then we've got, these are all just extra little ones that I cut, but hopefully now you know, don't throw away these little edge ones. They're also really good. You could even, you know, put one on the inside like that, on the inside of your card or on an envelope. Or I've made cards where I've just, this is not going to work, but you know, you'll get the idea, where you just take a whole bunch of these and you just line them all up all around a card and stamp something in. Another good way to use those little edge ones, so don't think that they're going to go to waste. All right, so the other thing I want to show you, I knew there was one more thing. In case anybody's around, or I suppose I could mail you everything in here too. I wanted to show you, oh, if you're doing my patriotic class on July 2nd and you don't want to see, this is a sneak peek of it. So this is a 12 by 12. These little stars are on clearance rack, and they're just perfect for here. And I'll probably put some more of them around because they're just so darn cute, and they go perfectly with this. So if you're interested in that, give me a shout out here, or send me an email at stampwithdrrobin@gmail.com. And you know, I'm sitting here, I still don't see that other little circle of flirty flamingo. I just know it's gonna, like in the next week, pop up in the most unusual place. But what the heck, right? All right, and also don't want you to forget that Wednesday, in case you weren't here,